What's going on, everybody? So I was about to pack it up for the night, but I'm going to be putting out this video directly tomorrow. It is November, or I guess 14th right now because it's like 1 a.m. But there's been new news that have dropped by the data miner here. This guy's great, by the way. Be sure to check this guy out on his YouTube channel. I will leave a link to all the stuff we're going to go over in the description down below if you guys want to check this out. But this is some massive, massive news. And honestly, probably the thing I would be most excited about if this truly does come to the game, which they've not been wrong about anything so far. And within reason, about a month since they've dropped these data mines, they've come out. So this is very likely to happen. We just don't know the exact specifics. Now, before we jump into the thing I'm most excited about, I just want to talk about some of the other things that they've dropped. First off, the new Paragon tree. This is like a glimpse, which means raising the level cap past 600 because there's only enough points to fill up 6 Paragon trees right now. So a new Paragon tree would mean a level cap increase, which would most likely mean a Hell 6. So Hell 6, level cap increase, new Paragon tree. This is kind of what I'm getting from this data mine, okay? All this shows is a new Paragon tree, but again, what I could speculate is that you can't use the Paragon tree, or you can't use all of them unless you have the higher level. So they have to go ahead and raise the level cap unless they decide to do something really, really crazy. This is super, super important for us to go further. But, you know, who knows if this is going to be an amazing set or if it's going to be something different. It looks like we have some time warp skill, hop pursuit, locomotion, something with like movement abilities, some sort of maybe like caster type Paragon tree, something like that. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be, but that's important to know. Second thing is they talked about the bonus salvage from the wisps for the set items, which we've already gone over. And then also new server merges for those people that have not had a server merge. In-game announcements may be happening 12th and 16th, and then to give players notice of being merged on November 23rd. That's what they say. Again, who knows if that's going to be 100% accurate, but it's pretty trustworthy up until this point, right? So we haven't had anything that's been crazy off, or anything that's even been off in general. It's been almost 100% accurate. So that's all cool, but the thing that I've been most excited about is Legendary Essence Extraction Overhaul. This is a massive, massive deal if this comes into place, guys. I cannot wait for this if this is true. All right, so right here, each piece of legendary equipment has a unique attribute they can extract and transfer to other legendary equipment. Perfect. Extracting essence. This is something that's already been in the game, obviously, but we have a few things that have changed. Essence conveys the name, appearance, and legendary attribute of the legendary equipment. Okay, same. Extracting the essence from legendary equipment destroys the equipment, granting you permanent access to transfer the essence onto other legendary equipment of the same type. Okay, we've already had that in the game, nothing new there, but here's where it becomes very interesting. Essences can be extracted multiple times from copies of the same legendary equipment, enhancing the power of the legendary attribute up to a maximum limit. I'll continue on here. When an essence's legendary attribute reaches higher levels, you get few or no bonuses to its legendary attribute when extracting the essence from lower difficulty copies of that equipment. And I'll just finish it off here. Select an extracted essence, transfer it to a piece of equipment, occupying that same inventory slot, and you'll change the item's name, appearance, and legendary attribute. Okay, so that's the whole thing read there. Let's just go over that in just a bit, okay? This key word, these two key lines here. So right now in the game, if we just go ahead and go over the essence transfer, you can see here, each legendary item has its own effect. For example, let's just take this cowl, because it's going to be a really, really easy one. This one increases multi-shot damage by 10%. I can't even pull it up here because the game's bugging out or something. Oh, there we go. So this one's going to be increasing multi-shot damage by 10%. Based on what that, line said, which means we can extract multiple copies of it. And if I just swap back over here, so we can just go over it just one more time. Enhancing the power of a legendary attribute. Legendary attribute is going to be the piece of gear, whatever it's giving you. For example, let's just say we have this piece. I got 15 more copies of it. Could this be increased to multi-shot damage increased by 25%, 30%, 40%, maybe even further? That is massive. Absolutely massive. And keep in mind, this can happen to every single piece of gear. For example, take another one, Vision of the Lost. During Vengeance, each defeated enemy increases the remaining duration of Vengeance by 0.2 seconds, up to a maximum increase of 2.4 seconds. Can this increase by 0.4 seconds per enemy defeated, up to a maximum of 4.8 seconds? I don't know. Multi-shot, can it fire additional 6 arrows? Can the maximum charges of Daring Swing increase by 2 or 3? Because all of these things can massively, massively change the viability of certain legendary items, as well as the current builds in the game already. A lot of the time, some legendary items just don't have the power that they need to, or, for example, in Boundless Ingenuity, increasing the charges past, could you increase it by even further amounts? Because that could really change some builds. This is massive, guys. I cannot understate this. If this truly comes into the game, this is essentially infinite leveling for your legendary items. Now, keep in mind that it does say that it's up to a limit. But what I mean by infinite is that it's hard to get a copy of a legendary item. So making sure you get, 3, 4, 5, 20, 30 copies of that item, who knows how many you're going to need to max it out, is going to be a huge, huge deal. This also changes the viability of certain farming methods. This also changes the viability of certain gambling. Like now, going through and gambling on a class that you've already completed, well, look at that. There's an upgrade for me. But I'm not just farming for the items and the sets themselves, because I already have most of them on the Demon Hunter here, and in fact I have most of them on every single class in the game. But it doesn't matter, because gambling now matters, because I'll need copies of them. This is massive news, and I have to go check this out, see if it's a meaningful upgrade. It's actually a decent one. I'll go ahead and equip it now. So this is huge. This also changes, as I said, farming methods, because again, it's all going to come back to, we want to go farm. Well, you really just want to go farm open world again, which is sad in some, but I guess fine for some other people. So once you get your set items and once you get your full set, you're just gonna ditch dungeon farming and then go straight back to open world farming, because guess what? You really, really need these legendary items to increase your legendary attributes. This is a massive change, and it actually basically gives you a reason to log into the game and improve your character. This is a big deal. Again, previously we were talking about ways to improve your character. I've always mentioned that some way to grind resonance, right? So I had a lot of people on my previous video talking about how Rare Crest can progress your character. They can, albeit at a very slow pace. And no matter what you say, you really can't actually progress your character at a reasonable pace up until a certain point. Once you get past that 1300 resonance, 1400 resonance, which people are already struggling to get to that point, it starts to become exponentially difficult in this game to increase your character. But resonance was always the thing that I targeted, because that's the thing that's been really core in this game. However, this idea is actually extremely clever, and I love it, and I hope that they implement it soon, and I hope that they implement it well. Those are the two things that I hope for, right? If it's going to be like, okay, you need 300 copies of legendary item to get 2% increase or whatever, then you're like, okay, well, it doesn't actually do much. But if it's like, okay, you need 20 copies to get double the effect, that's where it's like, okay, wait a second, this could be a big, big deal. So really, really interesting. Thank you again to the Datamine guy up there. I, again, will leave all the links to his Twitter page. Well, I'll just leave the link to his Twitter page in the description down below if you guys want to check that out. So be sure to, dive into that other things that are going on there, because there's a lot hopefully coming. We're going to get the new class. We're going to get some more server merges for those of the people that didn't get it. Looks like we're going to get the new Battlegrounds mode coming up from the previous Datamine. We're going to get the new fishing minigame, and it looks like we're going to get a new way to progress our characters. And maybe I'll have another video in the next couple days. Maybe they'll come out with another Datamine concept here. I don't know, but this is very, very exciting. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you guys excited for this legendary item grinding? I personally think it's an amazing way to kind of give incentive for people to progress their character and log in every day, but not necessarily, bypass the resonance or go through resonance. You bypass the resonance, which is actually a more fun and interesting mechanic, because it also throws in some RNG, which, is a good and bad thing. It's a good thing to kind of mix things up, but it's also a bad thing if people want to min-max their characters. So, I could see some cons for it for sure, but I definitely think it's probably the most exciting update outside of class change. And I said that about set items, right? Because that's a heavy grind fest, but this is like an exciting way I can progress my character. It doesn't just lessen the grind, it actually gives me a whole new avenue to make my character stronger, which is something that we have not seen in this game realistically for the entire time the game's been out, which is a big, big deal, besides the new legendary items, of course. So super exciting. 2 back-to-back banger updates, hopefully. well, we'll have to see in the next couple of weeks. I might make a video on the 2-week update, patch notes, things like that. If the class change is going to be coming there or the new classes, but super excited, guys. I mean, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what all of you think because this is a really exciting one. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.